Hey there, Any Mechanic here. And this past fall, a friend of mine honored me with a request to help him pull the motor out of his Volkswagen Touareg. Now, this particular Volkswagen Touareg came with a 10-cylinder diesel engine. Now, you might think, why would anybody do that? That is freaking insane. Well, this came as an option from the factory as an all-wheel drive 10-cylinder diesel. So I won't have to fabricate anything. I won't have to do anything crazy other than, I accepted the job. That's kind of crazy. But I thought it would be a really cool project to do. So, of course, I said yes. Plus, he's a good friend, so how could you say no to a good friend? I removed the engine last fall. Gave it back to him. He went through everything, rebuilt all the turbos, resealed the engine, which is the reason why we took it out in the first place. It was leaking from pretty much everywhere. It was leaking really badly, really, really badly. And you can't get to anything without removing the engine. Like dumping oil everywhere, really, really badly. So it was leaking from pretty much everywhere. So he brought it to me, I pulled the motor out, and then handed it back to him. He's finished with it now, so here we are. Before we get into actually installing the motor, I have some maintenance to do on my lift. When we were pulling this thing off of his trailer, which was rather ingenious, I might add, we had him back his trailer underneath the chassis. We chained the motor and transmission and transfer case to the carriages on this lift. And then we raised the lift, and we raised this thing up, and we got it almost off of the trailer. We just had a couple more inches to go, but I ran out of lift height. So what did we do? We deflated the tires on his trailer. That lowered it down enough so this thing would hang. We pulled out, set this thing down, and that was all good. Pretty cool, except for one thing. For some reason, I blew a seal on my lift. So now I have to fix that before we can go any further. Now we can get to the work we originally were supposed to do. Alright, so my original goal for today was going to be to repurpose this old cart so that I can stick it underneath this monstrosity of the drivetrain. That way I can position it easily into place, lower the vehicle down on top of it, and then bolt it up into the vehicle. This cart has been an awesome cart for me. It was originally made as just a big square cart with these 4 wheels on it. I used it to roll the body of my 53 Pontiac around when I started doing the frame-off restoration of that. And it worked great. When the body went back onto the chassis of the Pontiac, I no longer needed the cart, so I hacked it to pieces. I refabricated a couple of parts, and I bolted it to the underside of my Datsun 280Z when I started that project. That project is still going, but I ended up making a rotisserie for it. When I built the rotisserie for the Z, I took that back off, and now it's just kind of been sitting around, and I can repurpose it once again as a cart for this thing. So I guess now it's an engine stand. Oh, it's going to be soon, hopefully.